Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. We have another spring vlog today, which I'm super excited about. I just love the spring. I just feel like right now is the time for us to be outside, gardening, walking barefoot, touching grass. And I want to thank Vego Garden for partnering with me on this section of the video. They actually reached out to me and thought that partnering together would be great, and I agree. So they wanted to send me a few of their new items. I got their EZCube gardening bed. This is the EZCube self-watering planter. I got the 21 by 48 in the elevated, of course, in the sage green. You guys know my favorite color is green, so I was of course going to get green. The second thing they sent me was the elevated garden bed. This was 2 feet by 4 feet, and I got it in the color olive green. Again, I love a green. They also sent me the wheels too, which I'm so glad that they did. In the beginning, I wasn't sure if I wanted the wheels because I was like, it's not going to go anywhere. You know what I mean? But if you've ever moved a garden bed with soil because you just didn't like the placement of it, you would wish that they had wheels. But here I'm just kind of taking you guys through the instruction manual. It's super easy to follow along. I really appreciated that. You guys know I put together a lot of things around the little mini stead that I have going on. So having clear instructions is super, super, super important to me as someone who just does not like reading instructions, you know what I mean? But I'm just unboxing the EZCube right now. I liked that all the parts, you'll kind of see, they kind of just snap together fairly easy. I was actually quite surprised. I was concerned that it would actually be like a bit to put together, but no, I got the 2-section. They sell it also in just, I can't remember the measurements, but instead of being 48, actually it's 21 by 24, just like a solo little cube if you wanted like that. They also have it with the short pegs. I actually got the extended legs, so that's why mine is raised higher. I would also recommend to do that as well, because if you are going to have a raised bed, you do want it as raised as it can be. You can see the legs that I'm putting on right now. There was another part that comes with it that's a little bit shorter. Again, I asked for the taller legs, and thankfully Vego Garden sent over the long legs as well. But it's super easy to put together. Along with it being easy to put together, it's actually 100% self-watering, so it's very beginner friendly if this is your first time gardening or you're just kind of getting back into it after maybe a successful, non-successful year. I think this is something that you'd want to go towards if you have some trips coming up or you just plan on spending the spring, summer out of your house. This is something that you want because it's going to maintain your garden, whether you're planting vegetables, flowers, or even fruits. You could do berries in these. I actually consider doing berries in here. You'll see what I ended up planting here soon, but that would be perfect for it because you can essentially set it and forget it. And as you can see, it's super easy to put together. I'm literally just snapping things into place and it's sturdy. So that's the thing. You don't really give up the sturdiness of it just because it's easy to put together. Not at all. So in addition to it being self-watering, easy to put together, beginner friendly, it's also pretty cost affordable. I do have my link and I'll have it on the screen. It is ChiudeaJa 5. I believe ChiudeaJa 5 or ChiudeaJa 5%. Either way, I'm going to have it on the screen for you guys in case you want to get some money off. You want to save some money. I always do my best to save you guys money. But again, I'm loving this thing so far. It's a beautiful color. And again, I feel like sometimes when I'm running around my mini stead, more of my focus goes into taking care of the chickens, the ducks, that sometimes, and even in the past, my garden has struggled a bit because when I get tired and when I get busy, my garden is kind of where I drop off because I never want to drop off with any of my animals inside or out. But yeah, so having something like this, it's low maintenance and it's self-watering like I mentioned before, so it is going to maintain my vegetables in here. Along with that, there's also a system, if you guys saw beneath it, where there's kind of like cones. It creates like an aeration for your roots so that you're not going to get waterlogged. And those little items that I was kind of twirling on the side that looked like a little hose sticking out, those, and I even actually emptied those today, it helps to keep your roots from getting waterlogged. Essentially, that means it helps your roots not just sit in the water, especially if it's raining. If we're getting a lot of rain in the next few days, you might overwater your garden. So having the Easy Planter is going to help you avoid issues like that. Here you see me planting my zucchinis. I am so excited to be doing different varieties this year. I'm used to using just like a black summer squash. This year I did zucchini elite and gray zucchini. And then here you'll see me filling up this system. There's one other port in the back right that you could use as well. And next we're moving on to the elevated garden bed, which I'm super excited about. Again, I have this in a beautiful green color. I am just a sucker for a green, guys. That's just the running theme on this channel, okay? I love greenery, I love being outside, I love everything earthy. So as you'll see, I'm gonna be pulling out the legs. I did mention that I got the 2x4 elevated garden bed. This is completely metal. It's bend-free gardening, essentially. So you're not gonna be bending down, you're not gonna be hurting your back. When I'm gardening in this, because it's fully put together, and you'll see what I planted here in a bit, but I've actually been truly enjoying using this bed because it is so high up. I'm 5'2", 5'2.5" on a good day. So not having to really bend over, even though I am shorter, has been great. So I can only imagine if you're taller than me, constantly having to bend over, I feel like it's just not the best. This is also going to help you keep away a lot of pests and weeds because again, it's growing above ground. I have a lot of pests because I live out in the country. I actually woke up this morning to a possum on my deck attempting to eat the duck food. Granted, did I leave the duck feeder out? Yes, I was tired last night. That's neither here nor there. So you're going to see me putting this thing together. It's super easy. The instruction manual, just like the EZCube, super clear, super clear and very detailed so that you're not kind of guesstimating, because when it comes to putting stuff like this together, you really don't want to be outside too long trying to get this together with all the bugs, the gnats, all of it. So I'm putting this together on my patio, and I'll be honest, it is perfect for the patio. I love that it's not super wide in the sense that it doesn't stick out too much on my deck, even though I do have a wide deck. When I used to live in an apartment, I could definitely see this being something that I could use and still have space to sit outside and garden or just hang out with my garden bed out there. And kind of going hand in hand with it being space saving, it comes with these racks underneath the garden bed so you can use it for storage. You can put soil down there, you can put your gardening tools down there, you can put more buckets or planter pots. I absolutely love the fact that it does come with this. It keeps things off the ground, which is great. Again, like I said, I have a lot of critters and pests in my area, so anything that can be lifted off the ground will tend to survive this spring and summertime when all the critters and pests are out. So right now I'm just getting the garden bed ready for the vegetables I'm going to transplant here. The white stuff, I know you guys were asking my last vlog, is perlite. It just helps again with just keeping the soil fluffy and not getting compacted so that your roots can breathe. I'm going to have both of my codes on the screen. Both are going to save you 5% on your purchase of either planter. So for the elevated garden bed you see here, my code is CHIUDEAJA 5%. For the EZCube planter, my code is CHIUDEAJA 5. I'm going to have both on the screen. I'm going to have both linked down below just in case it's confusing. But like I said, I'm going to do what I can to save you guys some money. Happy gardening, guys. I'm just super excited that spring is here. I don't know if it's just this spring or what, but I feel like this has been the most exciting spring for me thus far. If you guys have seen what I've done with the entire deck, I already see the thriving of my vegetables. Even with that cold front that kind of took out some of my veggies, replanting everything like you kind of see me doing here, I see things thriving, and I am just so thankful. You guys know I am so thankful to work with brands that align with just who I am, things I like to do, hobbies that I have. So thank you again to Vego Garden for partnering with me this spring and sending me these items. Again, both of my codes will be on the screen and linked down below. And let's get into the rest of the vlog. Good morning, everyone. I kind of wanted to take you guys through my seed collection. I recently got this box in my last vlog or the vlog before from Joann's. I thought it was so stinging cute for being a seed box. I mean, it's not necessarily a seed box. You can put anything in there, use it to kind of like disguise a Wi-Fi box, things like that, if you want to cut a hole in the back. But I thought this would be perfect for seeds because it's just a cute little picturesque scene of just a planting station, the watering cans, the pots, everything that you need pretty much in your garden. But I'm going to get this open, kind of show you guys how many seeds I have. I probably need to find a way to, not find a way, but I need to find time to actually put these on my organizer just to make sure I have every variety that I own accounted for, so that if I'm, I don't know, needing seeds, I might say, oh, I need some more blah, blah, blah seeds. Instead of just going to the store and getting some, I can check my inventory, because having them obviously in a box like this, you don't really know. It's kind of like why I have those fridge magnets. I can see what's in my fridge and freezer without having to open it. But here is the inside of the box. I have these little baggies from Amazon. I can link them down below. They're just little seed bags. They have helpful spots on them to be able to write. Let me pull one out. Just like this. They have, and I've been putting like the type of vegetable, the variety, and then the year. I just like to keep the year just so I know how old the seeds I have are. I think it helps just knowing if it's like an older seed, maybe it won't sprout. If it's newer and it doesn't sprout, then I'm like, hold on, you're new. Things like that, I just feel like it's helpful. But here are all of my seeds. Like I said, it's organized, but not organized. I mean, it's just a crapshoot. If you ask me where my tomato seeds are, I see one here, but they're just scattered. I'm going to take you guys through all the seeds I have. This year I am focused mostly on container varieties, which I think I should have honestly written somewhere on here whether these seeds are like container friendly or not. Maybe that's something I'll go back and do. But for the most part, I'm just kind of going forward with container variety seeds only. When I had the bucket system that I recently actually got rid of, and I'm switching over to raised beds, which you guys will see more of in this video, which I'm really excited for, I decided that using container friendly seeds would probably be the best way to go, best bang for my buck. I know that a lot of heirlooms are like the staples that I love growing, we all love growing, but sometimes they just don't do well in containers, and you just have to grow for your means until you get to a place where maybe you do have raised beds and a big garden, things like that. This year I wanted to do garden beds, so that's kind of where my heart is. So anyway, let me take you guys through some of the seeds that I have. I don't even know where to start. I really don't. I'm just gonna grab them, put them on the side. I don't think I have any deep thoughts about a lot of them, but we'll just get going. The first seeds I have here are my pumpkin jack-o'-lantern seeds from 2024. Did I think I was gonna grow pumpkins in a container? Yes. I don't know where I got that idea from. I'm sure I got it online. Maybe someone on YouTube did it and I was like, you know, I can do it too. But I have these. One year I will grow them. Honestly, I think it'd be fun. I don't know. I think they might be molding actually. I really have to double check that. There's a bunch of seed testing I probably need to do with a lot of my older seeds. Not necessarily from 2024, but from 2023. Next I have, okay, look at that, 2023. I have my Roma tomato seeds. I need to test these out. I'll probably use these to get my Roma planter pots going because I want to see if these are still good. So let me actually make sure I put these to the side so I know to use my 2023 rather than my 2024 because I think I have 2 packs of those, or 1 pack, but you know. Then, oh, my new carrots from this year. I have my Petite Sweet. These are container friendly variety and these are from 2025. I do have some planted out in my garden right now, so I'm very excited to see what happens. I have the red cherry tomatoes from 2024. Again, just a cute little bite size tomato. I don't think I'm going to do this year, honestly. I like a good paste or slicer tomato. I'm not really a big fan of growing or really even buying small little cherry tomatoes. I just find, I don't know, I tend to use the other types of tomatoes more, but it's nice to have a variety. Next I have corn. You guys know I tried to grow corn in a container last year. It did not work out. I mean, it died. It did sprout. All of them sprouted, but they died. I don't think I was watering enough for as hot as we get. And I think my soil, because I was using garden soil rather than potting soil, I think I got too compacted and it just did not, like the roots could not get established or keep growing. But these are my triple corn. They're like sweet yellow from 2024. Next I have bok choy. I have these seeds. I know I had not used them. I opened up the new bag and just placed them in here. I did that for a lot of the seeds that I hadn't opened. I have a lot of cool weather crops that I have not tried yet because in Texas, we don't really have a cool growing season. We have like cool weather for about 1.5 months, 2 months, but we don't actually have a lengthy season where I can get a good amount of things like broccoli, bok choy, spinach, certain types of lettuce grown. It gets too hot, they bolt. So I'm hoping maybe one day I can catch the season right when it starts to cool down and plant things like this. Ooh, next I have my red burgundy onions. I kind of want to try onions this year. I tried it last year and not the year before. I tried it last year, but I used like bulbs. I didn't use seeds. Seeds take longer, but I think they tend to actually work out better than bulbs because bulbs could be in a dormant phase. They're pretty much in a dormant phase when you plant them, the little bulbs you can buy at the store. And the hope is that they'll continue to grow into actual onions. Sometimes that doesn't happen and they are stuck in a dormant phase and they do not sprout. When it comes to seeds, because they're dormant in a seed, they typically will grow out fully if they're a good seed, right? Sometimes you just have seeds that don't end up growing, but the actual like path of a seed is not more efficient, I'm losing the word, but you tend to actually get a yield from a seed rather than the bulb, just from what I've read online and what I've researched on YouTube just with other people's types of growing, like bulbs and seeds. But maybe we'll try this year. I haven't decided. What's next? Oh, broccoli. Oh, broccoli I tried. broccoli always bolts and gets eaten by something. Actually, I've done broccoli, I think twice, and every single time something has eaten my broccoli. Like there's just holes upon holes. So I don't know if I'll commit to broccoli again for a while. Maybe until I get like a netting or something. Here, look, we have more broccoli. But this is Rapini from 2024. This other variety was the Waltham 29. Yeah. You guys know I love growing cucumbers. I just love growing cucumbers. This is actually my new variety for this year. This is the bush pickle. Usually I just grow cucumbers, the pickling one or the market more, just regular vine. These ones were container friendly, so I was like, yes, we're giving it a go if they grow. And I do actually have one plant. Actually, I'm gonna try to succession plant my cucumbers, the bush pickling, and then the other one that I have, the national pickling from 2025. So again, I need to place this somewhere next to my like Roma 2023 tomatoes so I can get those started today. Here are a classic cucumber, the Market More. These are from 2023. Again, these are probably seeds I need to test. Maybe I will actually do that today while I'm planting the rest of my cucumber seeds. And then here we have, you guys know I say okra. It's pronounced okra in America, but I have my okra seeds from 2024. These, I don't know the variety. I'm almost certain they're like Clemson, like kind of like the standard ones, but I'm just not too sure because again, I don't have a pack from the store that I can open up and compare to. Maybe I'll actually just Google it so I can put the variety name on there because I think that'll be helpful in the long run. But I actually did end up growing okra for the first time last year. I got like 2 or 3 okra from it, but the plant died and you know, it was not meant for a bucket. These do better in the ground, but listen, we did what we used what we had. So that's my okra. And then look at my sugar baby watermelons from 2024. These actually did sprout pretty well, but again, I was not prepared to take care of as many things as I planted last year. I was pretty much planting anything that I could get my hands on. And these, I think these could have been wonderful. I just did not have the capacity to do them, but I don't think we'll do them this year. Honestly, I don't think we're going to do any fruit this year. If we do, we will do like berries in a raised bed because I feel like that's the safest bet. My berries last year on the ground were eaten by my ducks and also the bunnies that visit my house every so often. So they did not stand a chance. The next items I have, I actually planted a few of these, or two in each like planter pot the other day. These are the early long purple eggplants from 2024. I was told that these are such great eggplants. If you're not an eggplant person, which I'm not really, I don't hate them, but I also wouldn't like buy them. But I heard that these, and I believe a Japanese variety, are such good eggplants. Like they beat the standard purple ones that you get at restaurants or that you can grow. So I'm hoping these do sprout. Again, if you remember from like one of my vlogs last 3 weeks ago, I didn't really store all of these seeds the best way. I left them in their packets. Of course, they were open, so they had like airflow coming in. They got wet in their packets. So I'm hoping that even though I wasn't the best with keeping them secure, I'm hoping that they're still good seeds. So I have these in 2 starter pots and I'm hoping they sprout because I would love to try these. I tried them last year in a bucket and they did start to grow, but I think it was at the end of my grow season and they just kind of went kaput when the season changed. Look at all these seeds we still have. Here we have some more cucumber seeds. These are a part of the bunch that I got this year, 2025 National Pickling. I'm going to plant again another planter pot full of these today so I can succession plant in one of my beds. And then I think I want to try these again this year. I have a black turtle bean from 2024. I love black beans. I do. They're my favorite bean. I like baked beans, but I cannot remember what the actual bean itself is because I know it's not actually a baked bean. It's slipping my mind. It's not a... Is it a pinto bean? I can't remember, but I love black beans. So I might actually try, you know what? I feel like I'm gonna end up what I did last year, just trying to grow everything that I can get my hands on, but we might try these in a starter pot and see if they sprout. Again, I'm not someone who soaks my beans. It's always recommended that before you plant your beans, you soak them overnight or for a few hours. I don't. Our weather is warm enough where I could honestly seed start outside, and I have this year. I don't necessarily have to bring or start things inside and then bring them out, which has been nice. If you are in a colder climate, then yes, I would recommend soaking these in like warm water overnight. Any beans basically. So black beans, what other beans did I have? Oh, here, Cherokee wax beans. Yeah, you could always soak these overnight. It helps with just getting the shell ready to be planted, loosened up. But again, I don't really do that. But here are my Cherokee Wax from 2025. These have sprouted. They actually look beautiful in my bed right now. So I'm very happy about that. And then, oh, peas. I don't know why I really got peas. I'm not a pea person. I think when I bought these, I thought I was buying snap peas, but they're not. They're Oregon sugar. I will say though, my chickens and ducks love peas. This is something I could grow and it would have a happy purpose in my household. But I think I actually want to grab some snap pea seeds because these aren't it. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna grow snap peas, and then I was like, hold on, no, you got pea pods, Chi. But here are my pea seeds. And then I have slow bolt cilantro. I do have a few like herb seeds in this container, but I'm mostly just, or this year at least, I just bought them from Lowe's. Like I just bought them already sprouted and planted from Lowe's. I could not be bothered to start herb seeds. I don't have the patience. I really don't. But I do have a bunch of these seeds. I'm not gonna get rid of them because maybe there is a day where I do want to plant more cilantro than what's in my garden bed. And you know, I already have the seeds. So these are from 2023. They're slow bolt. I don't know if that's necessarily the variety or just for how they've been like engineered to grow, but these are slow bolt. More tomato seeds. I have my 2025 Cherokee purple tomato seeds, which I'm very excited for. They've all sprouted. I have, I believe, 2 or 3 of these, and then 2 of my black creme seedlings doing really well outside under the grow light. So I'm really excited to, I don't know, I feel like they're gonna be so pretty. Yeah, I'm very, very excited to grow these. I haven't grown many tomato varieties. Usually I just do Roma, some type of cherry tomato, and then one random one that it's either like, it's like a slicer variety. Last year was like a 4th of July one that I picked up from Home Depot. The year before that was like a beefsteak. So this year I'm trying to like experiment with, of course, container varieties and the varieties that are just kind of different. I don't know. So I'm really excited about these. My tenderette from 2025, these have sprouted in my garden as well, and they are beautiful. And I like the color of the seeds. They're just very pretty. But I have more seeds, and these are my green beans. Like green beans. I have another in here that I'll pull that are actually yellow green beans. I'm very excited about that because it's funny enough, I didn't know that there was a thing called like yellow green beans. Here we are. No, these are the other ones. Did I already show you guys my yellow green beans? I might have already. They are the Cherokee Wax. I feel like I didn't, but if I did, they'll be somewhere. If you guys all see that said Cherokee Wax and it was from 2025, those are my yellow green beans, which I'm very excited to grow. Again, I did not know that yellow green beans existed. I must be living under a rock, but you know, they exist, and I'm very excited to see how they look in the garden when they actually start sprouting. Here are my Blue Lake 274. Yes, 274 from 2024. I think these are just like my standard green bean. I can't remember, but I believe so. Just a standard green bean. The other ones are like a standard green bean too, but just of course container friendly. These ones didn't have it marked, if I can remember, as container varieties, but again, you can always try. Don't like let me say like, oh, I'm only doing container varieties and showing you. Stop you from trying like heirlooms or classics in a container, because they still will do well. It really just depends on many factors. It could have done well in your container because you actually paid attention to it, or you watered it, or you had more drainage than I did. There's so many different factors, so don't let it stop you when I'm like, oh, that's not a container variety. No, here are these ones. Next I have, oh, my straight neck squash, my straight neck yellow squash from 2024. These I attempted to grow and I could not get them past seedlings for some reason. I don't know if I'll do them this year because again, I'm focused on the container varieties. But like my spiel I just said, don't let that stop you. This could also do well in a container. It just didn't do well for me in a container, but I might give it a go. Maybe not this year, or maybe not this time around. Maybe when it starts to turn into not really like the second growing season we have, but you know, just like after I start getting a harvest from my first round, maybe I'll grow these. Oh yes, my chutney, is it chutney? Oh no, chantenay. My chantenay, or chantenay red carrots from this year. I have these, of course, in my bed. Hopefully they start sprouting. Carrots do take a long time, in my opinion, to start sprouting. But once they do, it's really just making sure that the soil is wet and not compact so they can grow to a good length and they don't get tiny and skinny like the ones I had last year. My gray zucchini from this year, I'm actually very excited to see how gray they look. The pictures online and on the packet, I was like, okay. They have like gray whitish striations and I'm very excited to see how well they grow. These are going to be seeds that I put into garden beds, and I'm so excited to get them in. They are sprouted and beautiful. I have my 2024 Roma tomatoes. Very simple. Roma is a classic. I love it. It's a good paste tomato. These have done well for me in containers. So again, it's really just how you maintain it and care for it. We're almost done, guys, I promise. Next, I have our red acre cabbage from 2023. Wow, I don't know why I thought I got these last year, but no, I have red acre cabbage. You can tell I didn't really plant too many. I don't know if I actually planted any, actually. I can't remember if the container or the bag was open or closed when I put them in here, but here is my red cabbage. I do love red cabbage. It's just, I never buy it. I never think to buy it, and I never think to grow it, except for, I guess, 2023. I was like, you know what, let's try it. Don't know if I'll do it this year. I think they're more so of a cooler crop. So again, if I can catch the cool season at the very beginning, I think I'll be able to do some cold weather crops this year. I'm really hoping so. Next, I have just a classic Sumter cucumber. These are good for pickling as well. There's a bunch of different cucumber varieties that are good for pickling, but here are my Sumter ones from last year. These did actually grow, and I was able to get, I think, like 2 or 3 from the vine. Of course, they were in a bucket. The bucket probably should have been bigger to allow the roots to really get established and continue growing. Look at this little bag. It's dang near empty. I have my Sweet Cow Wonder peppers, just red bell pepper. Well, not red bell peppers necessarily, but peppers. Peppers turn green. Of course, you can leave them on the vine until they turn red, which I tend to do because I love a red bell pepper. I cook with it mostly. It is just my go-to kind of like non-hot pepper. I love them. This is from 2024. I barely have any seeds in here. I do have 2 red bell pepper plants already going in the garden because I grabbed them from Lowe's just because I was like, you know what? Let's do it. I didn't think I was going to actually seed start this year, and then I ended up seed starting, but I could always start some more maybe like the next round once those 2 plants get established. Here I have mint, which we all know about mint. You cannot plant this with anything else because it will overtake everything in your garden. So I have it just, and the crazy thing is the seeds are so tiny. So it's so easy to accidentally get this in a bed that you don't want mint in. Next, I have Black Beauty 2024 zucchini seeds. These are like a classic zucchini. I believe they're like a summer variety, but these I ended up growing some last year. They were just tiny. I genuinely think it was because of the soil that I used, because the bin that I used for zucchinis last year was huge. I think it was just the soil got too compacted and it could not allow the roots to keep growing. Like, I think it just stagnated the roots. I genuinely think that was the issue. The next seeds, I have more squash. I have summer squash from 2023. These I don't think I was ever successful with, but my year of gardening in 2023 was kind of horrendous. I was not lucky at all. 2024 was really the first year that I started to actually get some knowledge, actually get some harvest. So it was very, very good. I'm hoping that 2025 is just even better than last year. I'm learning every time. Like, you learn so much when you're gardening. I'm sure I'll get to year 10 and I mean, it won't be perfect. I'll still have issues, I'm sure, but I'll know, like, you know, just I'll become one with the seeds in the garden and the plants. Guys, I have so many cucumber seeds, like different varieties, same varieties. I believe I already showed you guys a cucumber Market More variety from 2023. Here's my 2024, because again, I had no organization, so I was just rebuying seeds. And then I even had some empty packets of seeds that were still in my in my bin. So I was like, you know what? Let's try to get organized. I have asparagus seeds that I had not planted. I used to have asparagus growing in the yard, and I think just, you know, it died back. The seasons changed. It just, I'm sure it'll come back, but the way I have the chickens like fencing, it grows inside of their fence. Hindsight is 2020. So as soon as it starts growing back, they just eat it. But I'm glad that, you know, they're enjoying the asparagus. But I have some asparagus seeds. They're this color because the only asparagus seeds I could find were the like Fairy Morris colored ones, where it was like easy to sow. If you've seen them, you know what I'm talking about. I prefer to just get natural seeds. I don't really need the coloring on them. But again, I want to have at least a pack of asparagus seeds. I know there's different ways you can plant asparagus seeds. There's actually like a method where it's not seeds. It's almost like a bush, a bristle of like, it almost looks sticks. You plant that and, you know, it does take a while for asparagus to grow though. It's not like a 3-month, 6-month journey. It takes a while for asparagus to get established and start growing. So a labor of love if you're wanting asparagus to grow. Next seeds I have, like, look at this. It's empty, barely anything in there. I just have the Utah celery from last year. I have no comments because why is there's like no seeds. All right, here we go. Another cold weather crop. I have the Bloomsdale spinach from 2024. These I didn't plant at all last year. Again, I just couldn't catch the cold weather season at the right time. But this year, maybe I'll go ahead and give it a go. It'll be nice to have some spinach growing at home because I do make soups with it a lot. Next, I have more herb seeds. I have basil, sweet basil from 2023. Again, you know, it's good to have them on hand. I don't know how often I will be planting herbs. Next, we have jalapeno peppers. I think these are the peppers I actually have planted in my planter pots, or I have like a 2023, I cannot remember, but I probably need to get some more because I do love growing jalapenos and I've had great success with growing jalapenos in the past. I pickle my own jalapenos, I cook with them fresh. It's very nice to have homegrown jalapenos. We're almost done, guys, I promise, we're almost done. Here is my zucchini elite from 2025 that I'm growing. They are sprouted beautifully in their planter pot. They are ready to go in the bed. So again, that is going to be the goal, and not even goal, the actual to-do this weekend is getting them in their garden beds. Next, I have cantaloupe. I don't have too many fruit seeds. Fruit is just kind of like, oh, for me, hit or miss. I love fruit. I love, love, love fruit, but I don't think I have the patience, dedication, and care to grow my own fruit, except for, again, like berries that you get kind of already grown out from the store and you just have to maintain. That is what I can do. That's what I think I can do. But I have the Hale's Best 2024 cantaloupe variety. Of course, these are not going to be like your container variety. You do want to put these in the ground if you can. But again, don't let it stop you from trying if you do want to put it in a planter pot. Here are my beautiful black Krim tomatoes from 2025. These, of course, are sprouted in my planter pots and they're growing out really well too. I'm so excited. This and the Cherokee Purple I feel like can be such beautiful tomatoes to look at, to eat, all of it. But I have these. I have my romaine Paris, I forgot the full name, but the Paris lettuce 2024. These again, I did not plant. My cold weather crop. We're probably going to give this a go this year when it cools down. Then here, I was just talking about beefsteak tomatoes. I do have a beefsteak variety from 2024. Don't think I'm going to grow any beefsteak this year. I think I'm going to stick to just fun varieties. Not that beefsteak isn't fun, but you know, just different varieties that I'm used to, and then a classic Roma. These seeds are so old, they're from 2023, but I'm just hoping that they're still good. I got these were actually the first seeds I ever bought because I got them from a grow kit, which started my passion for gardening. I'll actually link it down below if it's still available, which I'm sure it is. It came with a few more, but those seeds have gone, or they're just kind of like too old, so I got rid of them. But I have some radish seeds in here. Here it is. Then I have some lettuce seeds. And then the last ones I still have are cherry tomato seeds. The only thing about these, I don't know the varieties. I don't know the actual varieties. Of course, like cherry tomato, but what type of radish, what type of lettuce, I don't know. That's the only pitfall of these, but they are very cute, and I do like these containers. I wish there was a way to buy them and label them for all of these seeds that I have. That is my entire seed collection, guys. I know that was a lot, and you know, I didn't realize I had that many until I started showing you guys, because I was like, oh, I have a couple. Oh my gosh, this is much more than a couple. I think what I'm going to do is take, let's see, I wanted to do another round of my 2025 cucumbers to do like a succession setup for the bed that I have with my cucumbers growing in it right now. And then I wanted to do some Roma tomatoes. I want to test these 2023 ones to see if they're still good. And then I think I was going to do another Market More, or maybe two. Actually, I haven't decided, but I do want to test these. They're from 2023. I think eventually I'll test all of my 2023 seeds, just not today because that's a lot of work. And then I think I want to try some black beans. So I think I'll be seed starting in a bit, just a few of these varieties. But yeah, that is everything, guys. I hope you enjoyed my cute little seed collection and my seed box. I'm so excited that it's spring and it's time to seed start, plant seeds, just, I don't know, be outside in the garden, on your deck, on your patio. I love it.